So it is exactly a year ago to the day. If you've not been following Kelly and I over the last few years, decades, maybe both of us, we all knew what happened a year ago. Coming up to this week, classes were starting to close down. The virus was getting worse. I taught my last class on the Thursday night at Virgin Active. We'd already got the supporters group, so I've always tried to encourage Fit Pros to go online, build their personal brand, get themselves organised on Facebook Live, and could see that the future. Hi, Jay. Yeah.
Nice to see you. Well,
they won't got you in the bath.
Good to see you.
Shredded first.
We'll bring you back in a minute. You can chill.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, darling. So we've always been trying to encourage everybody to go live and go online. And it's been an uphill battle, to be honest, hasn't it, Kelly? It's been an uphill battle. So many Fit Pros said no, don't want to do it. You know, you're building our businesses community. Nobody seemed to really take online seriously. So obviously, as we're coming up to last year, things were looking bleak. Steve IFS had been cancelled and everything, the country was kind of closing down, wasn't it? So how were you feeling at the time? What was your last class, Kelly? How was it all looking in Cambridge at that point?
So I remember I taught my last classes on, well, actually, one of my classes, I think it was on the Wednesday. I was at Bedford Lodge, which is a private spa health club in Newmarket. And I taught my first class, and literally before my second class, they'd made the announcement that they were going to stop all classes. It was going to be cut. So I had to sort of stop and not literally halfway through, but stop before I'd started and get on my way. And we had to turn everyone away. It was horrible, really horrible. And then this day, the 20th of March, last year, Jason and I went to the gym, and we knew it was going to be the last day in the gym. So we were like, get a workout in. And I just burst into tears on the gym floor, and I stood crying with the girl that ran the gym, and we felt like complete idiots. But I was just devastated. I was absolutely devastated. I was so scared. I was scared of what was going to happen, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I messaged you, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can pay my bills. And you were like, it's going to be okay. We will struggle through, as you always do, and tell me exactly like, this is it, Kelly Reid. Just pull up your big pants and carry on. And I was so gutted that no one knew. I think it was that fear of the unknown. No one knew what to do. Everything before then had always been our decisions. We decided whether or not, we were going to do this, do that, whatever. And it was that fear of the unknown. And yeah, I was pretty scared. And then the next day I woke up and I was just like, right, that's it. I'm going to do this. And got on board with everything. And I think for a lot of people, they probably felt exactly the same as me. I could see on social media, everyone was going through the same sort of distraught. But I think my last class was STEP.
I think, I taught aerobics, and I remember I cried while we were teaching aerobics at Virgin. Virgin had axed us anyway, so Virgin had finished us. So I knew it was going to be my last class at Virgin. So I was upset. Members were upset. I was upset. I drove to Virgin, drove into Nottingham that day, dropped Logan off at nursery, went to the gym, and was just thinking, God, and all I kept thinking about was when we all cried at the end, and we all took pictures and everything, knowing that this was going to be like the last time that we'd probably see each other. It looked like lockdown was imminent, but I think we all thought it was going to be sort of maybe temporary. God, we didn't realise we were going to be here for a year. And then as it sort of transpired the next day, and we could see what was happening in Italy, and Italy and Spain were completely locked down. I've got a house in Spain. I've got a lot of people who I know in Spain. I've got a lot of friends over there. So we could see what was going on sort of over there, and we knew that it was coming here. And I was just thinking, we had got like this was the year 2020 when we'd got the most amount of courses. We'd got level 3. we got level 3 pretty much every month. We got fitness Pilates every month. We got everything was fully booked, wasn't it, Kelly? And I was just thinking, you know, what am I going to do? How am I going to manage this? What if I have to refund everybody? How can we do this? I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to lose the house. I'm going to lose everything.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, how are we going to pay our bills? I don't know what I'm going to do. It was super stressful.
Oh my God. It was so, I just think, what we're going to do, how are we going to do this? And then I just kept thinking, right, we can do this. We can go online. We can take everybody online. We can do it. And then we just did it. And I sort of was chatting people. We got the supporters group. So if you don't know, the supporters group actually started at the end of the year before, so 2019. And it was just a little supporters group. So people like myself, Kelly, Deb Welsh, there was, I think Heidi was in it. Taryn, you may have been in the original. Heidi definitely was in original. Nikki, I don't know if Nikki was in, were you in the original supporters? It was really small. I think we had about 100 people in the supporters group, and then that sort of it was growing anyway in January. Then more and more people started joining that group, and I thought, right, I'll just put all my energy into this group, and anybody that wants my help, let's funnel everybody into here. Everyone can join in this group, and we can see if we can help everybody, get everybody going. And you know, I think the thing was that I knew that we could go live everywhere because we've been doing so much Facebook Live anyway, and a lot of people had already been pre-recording videos and were creating live content. So it was just getting the tech better, and it was just really taking things back day by day. Does everybody remember? It was just 24 hours at a time. And I think as the days went on, you take up the story then. So because you didn't have an online membership, we'd done KSFL for years, so we'd got online groups, hadn't we?
Yeah. So I had already got my from KSFL that I'd run with you for many years, and I'd got Facebook groups that I was running, and I'd got my Kelly Reid Fitness, Health and Wellness group that I'd got as a free group that you'd told me to do. So I was actioning that. But we delivered, I remember really clearly the weekend before. So this would have been the weekend before this week, this day. I ran our last fitness Pilates in London.
Oh, yes.
I ran that course at the
yes, I forgot.
At the what's the David Lloyd Club? My brain doesn't work today.
Where were we that weekend?
We were at the
went to Virgin Active.
No, it was David. It was the David Lloyd, but it was the what's the big club? What's the oh gosh? Anyone help me, please? In London. Literally,
it was Harbour Club. You were at Harbour Club. We forgot the clubs that we used to go to.
At the Harbour Club, and I ran that course.
Oh God, I remember now.
And it was really weird because in the club, obviously the members were coming in, going, "What's going to be happening?" To the receptionist. The receptionists were really irate. Not really irate, but they were really worried. Yeah, absolutely, Bernard. Kensington, the Harbour Club. And they were just dealing with so many inquiries because obviously people were coming through going, well, you're going to freeze our membership, what's going to happen? So there was a really, really hostile vibe in the club. We were delivering a course. We delivered that course. I delivered.
Oh God, I remember. I wonder who was on that course. Can you remember who did that course? It was a busy course, if I remember. It was busy because people were ringing to cancel, weren't they?
Yeah, I stayed over in London on the Saturday night, and I came back on the Sunday. And the train on the Sunday night, normally I have to run to the train, get on, and I don't have a seat, 100%. And I've got bags and stuff like that, and I'll literally stand. And it's only 50 minutes back to Cambridge. It's not an issue. But I remember the train was dead. It was empty. And I just thought, wow, this is weird. This is really weird. Like, what's going on? What's happening? And then, of course, literally that week later, everything went into lockdown. And then we delivered our next course. I think it was level 3 that we delivered as our first virtual.
Oh
my heart was in my
I'll never forget
that. The whole time I was thinking, please make this work. Please make this be okay. Please make my internet be all right. I made everyone turn everything off. Like literally, no phones, no devices. Jason couldn't watch any TV for the whole weekend. I was like, don't watch any TV, have everything off, devices off. You know, well, I need to make sure that these learners can hear me, can see me. And we did the level 3, but this is before we learned about breakout rooms. Do you remember?
Oh my God!
So
that first level
it.
3, because I kept thinking, oh, it's dry. How's anyone going to sit in front of a computer for 3 days? Can you remember? We were like, how is anyone going to do it? I'm trying to think who was on that first course. Nicole was on it, who went to live in France.
She was in France. Yeah. She actually did the course in I can tell you exactly who was on it, actually.
That first course.
Because I've got it on my phone. But I will announce. And if you are one of these people, then give us a big shout out, because you did our very first virtual. So our very, very first virtual, gang, we'd run January in Bristol. We'd run London kind of around the end of January. And our online was in April. And we had Lydia Reynolds, Rachel Forthnan, Caroline Martin, Mark Davis, Dawn Carter, Lynn Stevenson, Louise Andrews, Zane, Holly McQueen.
Oh, Holly did it,
yeah. This weekend. Yeah, that was our first course. That was our first virtual. And I was just like, please make this work. Please be okay. And it was okay, but we didn't know about the breakout rooms. So that was it was
huge. Hard, that one. But I was already having loads of tech problems my end. And plus I was lone parenting that week. And those first few weeks, it was so hard. It was so hard because I hadn't got the routine right. And when the nursery shut, so it was just me and Logan, and I got no childcare. And then we were running courses, and so I already had a group. So I already had a big online group. Quite a few of you are already a member of that. And I wasn't doing, because everything was pre-recorded before then. So before then I was doing I was not doing 6:30 classes. I moved all the classes forward to 8 o'clock. Mike Bynes had started his online studio. You'd started yours. And I was just thinking, how am I going to put all this together with Logan in the background constantly and pulling down papers and wrecking my banners and running in. And that was those first few weeks. I was so mortified that everyone was seeing so much behind the scenes of I was trying to hold the business together, trying to hold the house together, trying to be a good parent. I think that's probably been the most stressful period for me, was those first few weeks while he was off and like the house was just a mess constantly, and I hadn't got the tech right, and oh my God, it was so stressful. It was I
think the thing is, we've always prided ourselves on being so professional. We always arrive early to our courses. We arrive early to our workshops. We make sure everything's set up. You know, we used to set up our little shops and we'd have everything laid out really professional, and we'd have Lauren on hand, and you know, everything would be so flawless with regards to everything we could control. And then all of a sudden we had no control, you know, and you were dealing with Logan kind of running in and swizzling around but everyone loved that. You know, I was dealing with Bentley. He was literally laying all over my mat, or he'd sprawl himself out, or, you know, just kind of in and out constantly. I was having to like open the door, and it was just like, oh my God, this doesn't look professional at all.
It was
we were
a disaster.
So streamless beforehand, and then it was like, no.
Oh, it was so stressful. And I was really torn then, thinking, God, what's this doing to him? How's he dealing with all? He was just taking it all in his stride. Logan living his best life, just going on camera left, right and centre. But I did find that really stressful. And so in the end, I moved the classes back to 6:30. So he's not really a morning person. He doesn't really get going till about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I thought, move the classes back to 6:30, which we did. That worked. Because sometimes he's not up, so that was good, and that gave me a bit of breather. And then I would work really late into the evening. So because we were running the courses, there was a lot of admin to do. There was a lot going on behind the scenes with Active IQ, and of course, at the same time, I was juggling a job with Pure Energy. So I'd just taken the head role at Pure Energy, and so it was running a full time. Me and Andy and the team at MFEG, I was on Zooms every day with Andy and how we were going to create the music. We were doing our courses and everything that goes with Choreography to Go. I was trying to parent and just trying to keep it all together. So I think I honestly, if I'm totally honest with everybody now, I was just drinking coffee like left, right and centre. I was like knocking coffee back. I'd like start on coffee. I'd get up at 4. Those first few weeks I was getting up at 4. I'd sort our stuff out. I'd be on the phone WhatsApping you at like 6, sorting Lauren out. Lauren was doing all the admin. Admin was going insane. The messages on Facebook were it was just really hard to handle. People were calling me late at night, early in the morning, asking me to help them. How could they sort the tech out? So I was working with Stuart at Sound Dynamics as well. Stuart and him and I were speaking like every day, trying to sort what's the best tech. That was hard, and so it was like juggling 3 jobs, really, wasn't it? I
started off on my phone. Like I was doing all my lives on my phone. I thought, this is jolly, this is easy. I don't need a mic, I don't need a sound system. My phone picks everything up. It's fantastic. And then all of a sudden, just stage by stage, things started to not go right. And then Facebook was pulling me for music. I was teaching when you were teaching, maybe a dance class. And this is before Pure Energy Go had released like all their amazing releases. So Facebook was pulling me, and I was getting pulled like from a lot of my lives. And then my phone developed this horrible rain sound, which I remember I messaged you about.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and it was just this. Yeah, do you remember Tyra? Tyra just said the phone went fuzzy, Kelly, because Tyra's in my group, and it was just this awful rain sound. So if any one time I was doing a live, it was just horrible. It was a horrible sound. So I went live on my laptop, and I was thinking, this is great. I can do this, no problem. But then you couldn't hear my music, and then my Zoom didn't work, and my Zoom wouldn't work with music. And then I was sort of saying to you, what do I do? And you were like, you've got to go StreamYard. You've got to get some more, equipment. Speak to Stuart. I spoke to Rob because Stuart was off that weekend. And Rob was amazing at Sound Dynamics, and he just told me everything I needed to do. And I got everything else like then organised. And then I was just like, oh, I can breathe. I can do it. It works. It's okay. But that kind of first few, I
think it was like till about the end of April. What does everybody think? I think like it was about the end of April. I think it was, no, maybe longer. I think by the end of April, we were still, I mean, the tech even now is just, I don't think I was still fully really, Zoom wasn't really working for me for ages. Stuart and I tried, oh gosh, so many, I've got so many different mics that Stuart was sending me to try, and nothing was working, nothing was good. And then he found these mixers, these USB mixers. Monica came into our group, she might be on, and Monica and her husband, her and John had cracked the sound, and I didn't know Monica and John before that. So John got in touch with some of the stuff that they were doing. So we shared ideas, they helped me, I helped them. And then we were sort of really, we worked out what the best sort of settings were on Zoom and how it was all going to come together on Facebook. And the music was hard at the beginning because I didn't envisage that everybody would go and do like full hour classes. I thought people would go online and do half an hour sessions, 45-minute sessions. I didn't think anyone would want full hour releases, albums. So the initial ones that we released were all shorter, but then it became apparent that everybody was pretty much replicating their live timetable online. So if you were teaching an hour Pilates, you were teaching an hour in the old world, in the real world, you were teaching an hour online. So we quickly had to change that and make sure all the albums were, and it was just listening to everybody in the supporters group, as you know, was all just messaging saying what you wanted, how long you wanted everything to be, and I was getting all the feedback from everybody in the supporters group. People were testing the app and testing sort of everything there. So that, and then we were getting into a more of a streamlined sort of fashion of work, but it was completely all hands on deck. So it would be, I would get up at 4, I would do a couple of hours, I would then teach at 6:30, then I'd do supporters briefing. I think the original supporters briefing was 8:30. Then Logan would get up, sort Logan out. Logan would be in the briefing and just destroy my set usually by that time. Then I'd do a bit more work, then probably go out for the walk. Remember when we all used to go out for the walk? We'd go out for the walk. I'd try and tire Logan out as much as possible. So we'd go, we'd run in and go outside. And then he would sort of start to chill a little bit in the afternoon, and I would come back online about 3-4 o'clock, and then it would be meetings with Andy and Pure Energy, and then it would be I would be teaching then on Zoom. So I'd put Logan to bed, teaching on Zoom, and then I'd work right through till about probably midnight, 1 o'clock, and then get up again at 4. So it was flipping. It was hard work. Got my mixer yesterday. All done. It was.
Ali, I saw that, Ali. Well done. We're sending pictures to Ali of all my setup and everything. And the thing is, for a lot of people, like Ali, I was saying to Ali, do it, go online. And I knew, like Steve Watson was telling her exactly the same as well. But for a lot of people, it was nerve-wracking. If you've never done anything like this before, you've never put yourself out there online. Rachel and I had done it for years beforehand, but we'd always pre-recorded everything. We'd recorded, or we were, going live in our groups, but not necessarily for workouts or as many workouts, or certainly not doing a virtual studio like we're doing now. So it was stressful. And then, people would be like, oh, the connection's not great, or it's stopping, and you just be like,
why does it work? It was. But I don't know if you remember those early masterclasses. Some of those masterclasses were touching. There were like 400 or 500 people on them. And I just didn't, there was like pages and pages and pages on Zoom. It was just, and it was, if I look back on the original Zooms, let me know what everybody else thinks. But my teaching, now we just teach so differently on Zoom. It's so different. This is why I'm so keen to get back to an outdoor session, because I realise when I look back, and I look back at the original Zooms for those first week in April, and teaching on Facebook Live. I did some steps on Facebook Live, and they were horrendous. Just, it's so different teaching, and you don't realise till you look back how much I think your teaching style has changed. And I think it just takes time. It took us a lot of time to evolve and work out how to work it, because it's like you work the room, you've got to work the screen, you work the chat, you work everybody in Zoom. It's a bit of an art form, Kelly, isn't it? It's not easy. It's not easy to be handling comments, to be looking. You guys all know, looking at boxes in Zoom. Can you remember those first? Can you remember those first ones? There would be people on my Zoom who might even be in this thing, and they'd be eating the tea like this, and I'd be able to see. People would be like this, or you'd go, shut that door, I'm on a Zoom, bang, and you'd see somebody, you'd see everybody's houses. Remember?
People would forget that their video was on. They'd be doing their washing in the background, hanging their washing up, doing all sorts of things. It was hilarious, some of the stuff that we'd see. I still have it now where I do a Zoom once, if not twice a week for my group. We do a dance fit or a club fit class. And some of my members, they're doing the routines, and then their son walks past in his pants.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, God, that happened loads of times. People's like husbands would come in the background with the
But I'm not talking about like young sons. I'm talking old sons who are like 17, 18 years old, just like walk past. The worst one for me personally is in the summer, and Rachel and I were delivering, and I can't remember what we were delivering, but we were delivering a workshop together, and my dad was having his car serviced in Cambridge, and Jason, bless him, was on furlough, And Jason went, and he'll probably come back in and say hi in a minute. Jason, we're talking about when you had to look after my dad for the day. And Jason went and met my dad. And of course, when your car's in for a service, you have to literally leave it there. And Dad had got nowhere to go. He'd got, okay, he could like walk around Cambridge, but that was all he could do. So Jason said, well, we'll go for a coffee and have one in Starbucks, because this is when you could still sit outside in Starbucks. And then you kind of realised that he wasn't going to be ready, were you, for a long time?
I ended up adopting your dad for the day.
So he brought him back here, and I was delivering with you, Rach, and he just found the whole thing so entertaining.
Well, it is.
The whole Zoom. And whoever was on that course that day, I apologise massively, because my dad just kept
walking. He walked in with his flat cap on, his hands behind his back. He walked past the screen like this, and then just kept walking up and down, oblivious to the fact he was on the screen.
What people don't realise, that was the eating thing. That I let that go till about summer, and then I don't know, but I don't like people. I can't stand when I hear people eat. Does anyone? It's the thing, isn't it? It's the thing. Even when Logan does it now, I'll go, don't eat with your mouth full. It's like, don't eat with your mouth full. And it was, people would just feel, and I remember I said, I can't deal with this anymore. I think I had a bit of a meltdown on Zoom. I can't deal with people eating anymore. Don't eat. I can't deal with it.
And that's the thing. And like my dad decided as well that day, he was just gonna go, and he was like, hello. Oh my! And we were stuck with him till about, what time did he get picked up?
About 4:30.
It was about 4:30, and I remember me and you, Rach, we just ploughed on. I can't remember what we were delivering. You'd got lots of stuff going on with Logan. I'd got to deal with Dad, literally just like walking back and forth. And you'd put him in the garden in the end. It was like a dog.
I had things to do.
It's just the things sometimes I would be like, okay, Logan, right, here's a book. Just sit quietly for a minute. Will you just sit quietly for a minute, Mummy? Yeah, no problem. I go, live. Hi. Logan had come straight across the screen. Hi, everybody. Oh, my gosh. There were so many times. There was just so many times. And I think when, and what else, when you think, right, the audio, I've cracked the audio, everything's good, you're feeling positive, you go live, and then all you can hear is people going, can't hear you, can't hear you, can't hear you, can't hear you. And you're like, oh.
Musical, turn it down. It's like, oh.
Can't hear you, turn it down, oh my God. It's so stressful. Oh my God! Honestly, there was so many things, so many things. I was just going to think of another one that happened. There was just millions. Can anybody else think of the fun things that they've had? Oh, that was bad. That was a bad mum moment when he just went, "Can I have ice cream for breakfast?" And I just said, "Yeah."
I remember.
And everyone said, "Yeah."
When Logan was a baby, and you were like, "He's gonna eat avocado. He's not going to eat white bread."
Oh my God, that was another one. Okay, we'd spent days, weeks working on the Pure Energy website, and I was doing this live. I got my hair done. We were doing a big announcement. I'd got Logan watching telly in there on a beanbag, and I said, right, just 5 minutes. Don't come in. It'll be all right. I went live. I just went, right, the Pure Energy website is live. Logan came straight and went, I want to poo. I just had to delete the live straight away. It was like a big, massive moment. Oh my God, it was just awful. The other one when Logan just ripped all the mat up when I did Yoga Fit. Oh my God. And then I said I would never go live on anybody else's page ever again. Because it's one thing when your kid is on your page, but it's another thing when it's on somebody else's page. Oh gosh, great memories though. Was everyone laughing? Was it your birthday?
It was your birthday, yeah. Logan pulled down the banner.
Everything, pulled down everything. Absolutely everything. Those advertising boards. Oh God. Oh dear. But we got there. We made it, everybody.
We did.
We absolutely did. And it's a year on. So a year to the day. I did a webinar. Lots of people who are on tonight came to the webinar. We all, tried to make a plan, get everybody organised, and everybody got organised, which was flipping amazing. Amazing that we did it. Thanks, guys. So a big cheers to everybody. Here's to the future, for sure.
We're empty, but
the
cheers.
Future. Yeah. I think there'll be challenges away, of course there will, but I think it cannot ever be as hard as it's been. It can't be. I think we've got some exciting things. I know, it's got some exciting things planned. I think it's going to be good. You've got to have a laugh. Absolutely. What a year. Cheers. Absolutely. Cheers, everybody. You lot are the legends. Absolutely. I need to go and fill up my glass. We need to go and do the supporters party now. We're late for the party, Kelly.
Standard. Again, we're always late to the party.
We are. Everybody, cheers. Thanks for making this year amazing. Thanks to everybody who just chipped in, helped each other, positive, came together and just was amazing every step of the way. It's been fabulous. Absolutely. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. Cheers to Bentley. Cheers to Logan. Cheers.
Thanks,
yeah,
everyone.
I'm going to get a top up.
Take care.
Bye, guys. Mwah. Lots of love. Let's get a top up.